Welcome to Rebellion Health, episode 1. And I don't know that I could be more excited about, let's call it a restart to something that we have been doing for the past couple of years. But I think when we look at something we've been working on for 6 months of rebranding what was formerly Optimized Health into something that felt not only more palatable, but more in line with who we are and really what we see. And so we wanted to take this first episode to kind of reintroduce, because the three of us don't get to enjoy being on here all the time. So we wanted to reintroduce who we are, what is Rebellion Health, and really kind of engage the listeners to maybe ask some questions or to answer some questions perhaps of what is different about Rebellion Health, where do we want to see this go, and how are we going to navigate that? So Laura, let's talk first to you.
Oh yeah, I get to go first.
Yeah, so maybe give a little backstory of your involvement with Optimized Health and now Rebellion Health, and just kind of your passion. I think that would be really helpful for listeners to hear, and then really, what Rebellion Health means to you.
Sure. So my background is I'm a nurse practitioner. I've worked in hormone optimization, and with Optimized Health, it was a great way to bring to light some subjects around just our general health and how we can improve that, own that, so to speak, educate ourselves so we can make good decisions. And that's really what Rebellion Health has kind of been born out of, because we don't have to just settle for the status quo. We can actually test those theories. We can look inside. We can settle with that or sit with that tension that we feel a lot of times between truth and myth. And we can make a decision then that will impact our lives for, however many years to come, and our families.
Yeah.
And so that's my passion, is to let people know that, you have a choice in this, and you're made for more than just going with the flow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I come from on this.
Well, I think, would it be a fair assessment to say that perhaps, let's say 2.5 years ago, maybe we were all a little naive, hopeful, like Optimized Health was a feel good, not that Rebellion Health's not, but it was this feel good of like, man, if we could just motivate people. And I think as we've done this within hormone optimization and longevity for a season, we've kind of learned there's a lot of things, there's a lot of factors that play into this, right? It's not as much as just this optimistic viewpoint of like, oh, this is great and you should do this, as much it is you have to almost unlearn so many things.
Absolutely.
And realize what systems are working against you and how do we rebel against those systems, big pharma, big food, big insurance. How do we take those things and say, just giving somebody a feel-good message doesn't work.
It doesn't make change.
Right?
It doesn't create change.
Yeah.
We have to really wrestle with what's in us, what's external, and then make a decision.
Yeah. And I think that's the heartbeat of what we're calling that out, right? We're at this point where it's like, no, yes, we are going to give you information of how to become the best version of yourself. That doesn't change. But I think that more than anything, there's a moment in time right now where we have to draw a line in the sand and say, this is no longer acceptable. And I think culture is moving in that direction, but I think that's where the heartbeat of what Rebellion Health is.
I would agree. I'm not on the same level as you guys in terms of being able to know it from the medical side, the practitioner side, but from the patient side, it is hard. It is difficult. But to do things that when you're speaking to feel good, that's what we want as a patient. We want to feel good, not only through our health, but we want to feel good that the message we're receiving is the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where it gets hard, and that's where it gets murky.
Yeah.
Because there's all kinds of people out there on social media or doing podcasts or what have you that have their own opinions, have their own agenda. And so to be able to filter through that as a patient is very difficult.
Yeah.
That is very difficult. That's where you get information overload, and then you just pump the brakes. And then you go back to what's comfortable, and what's comfortable is I go back to my doctor and just don't ask any questions and do as I'm told.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I think the rubber meets the road for people.
I think clarity is another hope that we have. I was on Instagram this weekend, and there was a reel, and it was so, I almost sent it to you guys. It was a reel of this lady. She's in the kitchen. She's cooking. So she's got a frying pan. I think she's making some eggs. She's got a red light mask on her face. And she's standing on a vibration plate. And she's just like, who would have thought at 40 years old I would still be as gullible and as naive to just take everything for its worth? And again, I'm not saying that those things aren't practical, but I think clarity is so needed in this moment because there's a lot of noise. There is so much noise, and trying to navigate that within a patient, because what works for you doesn't work for me, what works for her doesn't work for me. And so we are all so created uniquely that how many people are wasting money buying, every little gadget, every little supplement, when in reality, for me, a part of Rebellion Health for me is pushing people to take ownership.
Right.
That also has become something I'm probably reactive after 4 years of doing this, where I see so many people. I had somebody last week who he's like, I really don't want to take medications. I really just want to see what I can do on my own. So I said, okay, well, let's talk about your nutrition. And he all week, okay, every day this past week, he has sent me a picture of a meal that he has had. 2 of those meals have been at home. So he
has no clue what's in it.
Well, it's the irony, right? It's like you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth right there, because you're not, you say you want to do everything natural. You don't want anything, medication wise, but then like your nutrition is god awful.
Right.
Like that does not line up.
You've got to get back to those core basics.
Yeah.
That will, lead to good health overall. And we have to kind of settle with that and say, okay, what do I want? What am I able to do? What am I capable of? And then what do I need to ask some help? How can I get some help?
Yeah.
And put those people around us, surround us with people who are better at nutrition than us, or hormones, or exercise, or whatever the case may be. And then pick those voices that speak truth to us and keep them in our lives.
That's right. Yeah. So what are you hopeful for in 2026 for Rebellion Health?
Honestly, I'm hoping that we can become a voice that people trust. I think we can speak from many different perspectives, and I think we have experienced things in our own lives, whether it be through patients or it be through personal experiences, things like that, that help us to be able to make our stories true and real. So I think a lot of people relate to storytelling, like I can see myself in her. I'm a grandmother. I have a million grandkids. It's like we have rabbits living in our house, but but I don't really have a million, but they feel like a million. But I'm a grandmother. And then people may be like, oh my gosh, she can actually watch what she eats. She can still get out there and exercise. She can get on the floor and play with them. She can do all of these things. I relate to her.
That's right.
I work a full-time job with a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So, but
true.
But, so those things happen too. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, all of those things. We're relatable that way. I'm relatable that way. So I'm hoping that through Rebellion, by living our lives as an example, like we're living what we're preaching.
Yeah.
We're living. Now, do I eat at home all the time? No. I'm just going to be honest. I don't do that. But I'm also not going, hey, I want to do everything exactly right and I don't have anything wrong.
Right.
I do have faults. Yeah. I do have life. I do have those things that come across the table. But I'm hoping that our voices can become one that is true and one that is can be a home base for somebody, to where they can come back and say, well, Josh said, or well, Mandy said, or well, Laura said. So that they do have the power to then question.
Right.
It is okay to question.
Absolutely.
That does not make you bad, negative, hateful, to question things.
Right.
That is not a bad thing. And I think we've lost that. I think we've lost the ability to go, wait a minute, what does this mean? Or also, you guys have heard me say this a million times. Oh, wait, time out. Tell me like I'm a 6-year-old. That's okay. You're not expected to know everything.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we become a platform where people can at least find the courage to question.
Yeah. Speaking of platforms, let's talk about, again, formally, we've had a podcast, we've brought on guests. There's not really been a much more education, right? And I think for us, one of the things that we talked about was how do we not only have people on who are educated, who can help us, think through this, but also how do we create roadmaps? How do we create a journey for patients? So platform wise, talk about some things, that you're hopeful for, or maybe, things like a challenge that we want to offer patients, right? So things that we want to look at to where we can provide clarity, but not only do we provide clarity, now we provide a path for that patient to journey with us.
Sure, yeah. So we really want to start creating some like inner challenges that patients can say, I want to work on my stress level. I want to work on my metabolic health. I want to work on my fasting insulin level, those sort of things, and then give you some challenges around that. Some education first, and then some like 21 days of action items that you can challenge yourself with. And we're going to do those alongside of you.
Yeah.
So, we want to just give you a roadmap, like Josh said, to be able to kind of come alongside us, join us in the journey, because we're all, like Mandy, you said, we're not perfect. We're in this journey with you. We want to work on these things for ourselves too. And I think that's important to note, that we don't have all the answers, but we'll find those answers as best we can if you have a question, because we still have questions too.
That's right. Well, and one of the things that I'm really excited about that I've been working on is having an assessment where patients can really, hone in on what are their top pain points. And I think in medicine, we have, intakes and profiles and things like that we take, but nobody's really doing a thorough assessment where it's helping people, again, bringing that clarity back. What are the most important things that I can do right now, right? What are the top 3 things that you can do? So, mixing in these challenges, but even having something that's very personalized where we, have perhaps a health coach, coordinating, here's what they give us back from their assessment. What are the next 2 most important steps that you can take? And I think that is something that really excites me, because again, there's a lot of, I call them funnels, the sales funnels out there where you click on an ad and it takes you through this, 5 things. Really all they're trying to do is push you towards a coaching class or something like that. And this is truly just something to say, hey, we want to give you clarity. We want to provide something that helps you navigate what are the top places in your life that you feel like you need help.
Well, we also want you to put skin in the game.
Yeah.
How many times, listen, I've given my kids plenty of stuff. And when I give them things, they treat it one way. When they buy their own things or work for their own things, they treat it another. Yeah, with all the kids and grandkids, those are my examples. But there's difference in skin in the game. There just is.
Yeah.
There just is. So if you're really intentional about your goals for your health, then when you are doing the 21-day challenge, or you're working on a worksheet, or you're thinking, what is my body saying to me? How do I figure that out? And you're intentional about that, then your success comes quicker. It just comes quicker because you're not fighting yourself at the end of the day, or you're not taking somebody else's advice and going, that doesn't really apply to me.
Right.
So that makes all the difference in the world when you put your efforts and your physically, emotionally, mentally into play.
Yeah.
And I think too, you have to look at what's sustainable for the long haul. One thing I'm really working on is creating some healthy rhythms in my life. There's things that have worked for me that I just do by second nature now. Well, I want more of those, So to your point, Josh, picking 2 or 3 things that I could put in my day that are just healthy rhythms that are going to lead to, that monumental change, just day by day little steps that you can do that then at the end of the year, I can look back and say, that was really beneficial for me.
Yeah. Let's have some fun with rhythms. You guys want to know? You want to know a fun rhythm I just started this week?
Let's hear it.
Oh God,
coffee enemas.
Oh,
you didn't see that one coming, did you? That's right.
Nobody drinks coffee at the porterhouse. Yeah. We don't know where it's been.
But the more I've researched on liver detoxification, glutathione.
Time out. Who's giving said enema?
It's self-inserted.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah, I was like self-applied, self-inserted. It takes a minute. Okay,
I'm certain it does.
How's the outcome?
Yeah. I haven't made it through a full bag yet.
Okay. I had this whole thing going in my head. Are we using Folgers? What are we doing?
No, it has its own organic coffee that you get with it.
Oh,
you order this.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't just go, I got said bag.
Yeah.
Somebody brew me some Folgers.
Some JFG or whatever that used to be. No, it's
what is that? The best part of waking up?
Yeah, that's right.
Is Folgers in your butt?
We have no affiliation, but Happy Bum is the website.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. So
Mandy, it's on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah. So there's your challenge.
Okay.
But again, there's so many things. I was going to say it's all about doing hard things, but I'm like, that's probably not the greatest way to use that for coffee enemas.
No.
I think it's just challenging ourselves around what are the steps, right? I've incorporated methylene blue.
Yeah.
I no longer have my cell phone in my room. I have a digital clock, like just again, to your all's point, it's like, if we're going to call people to these high standards, we should be the examples to say, I'll try that.
What are you looking for out of this? I've heard it, and it's like kids in college parties putting alcohol there. I'm like, what are you looking for?
No, so
what
for
are you doing?
Gut health, so it helps with liver detoxification, the protocol I'm doing. So that helps stimulate glutathione, which is a really powerful antioxidant.
Okay.
For me, it's more around gut health that I want to also try to incorporate. And also, to be honest with you, because not because it's a stimulant, but one of the things that they talk about is how you don't need as much caffeine. And that can be a little bit of my Achilles heel.
Me too.
And so I'm trying to see, is there more, effective ways to have appropriate energy? I'm working drastically on my sleep. And so I'm just trying to incorporate some things where it's like, I don't want to be dependent on caffeine all the time, And so I'm just seeing if there's some rhythms that I can get into. Now, how frequently am I doing this?
That was my next. That was in my brain. I'm like,
I'm gonna start.
When do we not call you?
It literally only takes about 10 minutes. Okay. But I'm gonna start with 3 days a week. So that's some people do it every day. But 3 days a week is going to be the protocol. And then I'm going to reassess.
We're going to have an update.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm totally.
I love talking about coffee.
Yeah. Hey, coffee is my love language.
Yeah.
But you go here. You go here.
And it may stay there.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm doing kind of the same. No, let me back up. I'm not doing the same thing. I can drink coffee, at least I thought I could, all throughout the day, and then go to bed and do my thing. Well, I've noticed that in the last little bit that my REM cycle has been much better. But I also stopped drinking coffee after 3:00 just to see what's happening. And then, I changed some other things, but just to see, my heart rate lowered. So then I tested it. So then I just shot a glass of coffee or a cup of coffee at 5:00 and went to bed, and my heart rate, I have an Aura ring. So it tells me all kinds of stuff. And so it was like, and then it'll give you tags. Why is this changed in your sleep? And I'm like, I know what it was. Yeah, I know what it was. But I've gotten dialed in. I've gotten dialed in on my body and what it's trying to tell me. That's not always been that way. But I've gotten kind of dialed in. So where my coffee is going in the top part or not,
I knew you guys would have fun with that.
You had to.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you?
No.
Yeah.
So I admire it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do that.
The other thing too, weighted vest. I mean, that's very practical. And it's really cool. I had 2 patients today in follow-up who have both incorporated a weighted vest after talking to me. And they're like, oh my gosh, the amount of energy from the being able to lessen my workouts because it's more intense, and that's, Gary Brecka talks about this. What you can accomplish in a 10-minute walk with a weighted vest would take you 30 minutes from a caloric expenditure without the weighted vest,
without the weighted vest.
So I'm all about efficiency, right? And so little things like that, to me, it's just helping people navigate what is, to your all's point, what are the things that we can do that's like, how do I take ownership of that? Right? Go buy your weighted vest. And
I think, though, if we go all the way back to the very beginning about what is Rebellion Health about, you have to be able to listen to your body, because otherwise, how would you know that it's doing anything? How would you know the coffee from the bottom up is doing anything? How would you know the weighted vest is doing if you don't know what your body's responses to different things is.
Right.
So all the way back to the foundation is, who am I? What do I want? How do I get there?
Yeah.
So,
I love it. Well, listen, I think that's enough for the intro. Our second episode is going to have a guy, Dave Lee, on, who I've followed Dave Lee for a long time. He's really become somebody that I've admired.
I like his voice.
I put a lot of our providers on with his TRT Academy, and we are going to interview him on thyroid. He's got a new course coming out on thyroid optimization, and I think it's going to be a game changer. He actually lives in Lithuania, so that was another challenge that we had with Rebellion Health is we've utilized so many resources here locally, and we feel like it's time to kind of start spreading our wings and expanding and really getting, kind of national and world leaders in our fields to speak in, and he's my first one. So,
and he's got the coolest voice.
He does have a cool
Can't
voice.
wait.
I'll
Yeah.
go.
All right. Well, until the next time, guys.
All right. Yeah.